13 seconds for this logo, back when Disney knew how to get shit done. What's this? What's this? There's winter everywhere. What's this? What's this? Is that a fucking jetpack? This movie saw how shitty and fake the wide shots of the randos on the deck in Titanic looked and said, hold my wassail. It's in the singing of a street corner quiet. It's going home and getting warm by the... This is Santa's fucking playground workshop, the center of Christmas, but the ice skating rink is this fucking tiny? Also, I didn't think it was possible for a major Christmas movie set to look more like a Fugazi than Batman Returns, but I stand corrected. This is a workshop that values ornate overhead wrought iron fixtures over functional workspace. Half of these elves aren't even looking where they're hammering. Child labor playing elven labor. Some kind of law was broken, I'm sure of it.
Take us to ElfCon 3!
Oh man, oh, it is so bad I'm adding 50 cents. What a bad line. What the fucking hell is this shit? Isn't this supposed to be a sequel to the movie in which Tim Allen gets hosed by a sham agreement that makes him Santa Claus, only to realize he's been a bad father and a horrible human being for most of his life? Does the follow-up treatment seriously need a pseudo-suspenseful opening involving a periscope, dramatic music, and the Aurora Borealis?
Sir, you're gonna want to hear this.
You better come take a listen at this cliche.
The handbook. Curtis, do you go pee-pee with that thing?
I'm already convinced this script was concocted after the 5 writers met up for an innocent happy hour and then woke up with a massive hangover 15 days later, having somehow shit out this tome in the meantime. They also noticed they suddenly shared a curious ketamine addiction.
Curtis, when are you gonna tell him?
Not now.
Ah, the rare appearance of the pronoun game's filthy inbred cousin, the subject game.
It's so cold up here, Charlie. How can you not be freezing?
I don't know, because he has roughly 9 layers of clothing on right now, in addition to the wool cap.
Why don't you ever talk about your dad?
I'm pretty sure this lady's character is named Girl Who Asks Random Questions in Middle of Graffiti Heist only to further what passes as plot, using a complex repelling setup to conduct your spray paint vandalism. Who does this dickhole think he is, Banksy? Ah, f*** me with a spurtle. Ain't no goddamn way Charlie painted that Christmas tree with that spray paint. Look at the definition of the exterior lines of the branches, man. That shit was done with an edging brush or a sponge, not with a couple cans of Krylon. How did Charlie's co-conspirator not see this coming and or warn him? Principal Juliet had to walk all the way across the gym with a fucking ladder, then get that shit in position to climb up for this You're in Big Trouble, Mr. Look. And she didn't see or say shit. Also, Elizabeth Mitchell is an eyeball scolding me in this scene.
Okay, try it now.
What the f***? He's a toy salesman. Did the movie momentarily turn him into Tim the Toolman Taylor? Why is New Santa from marketing the one person that can fix his fucking toy?
Alexander, let's think. Take the hat off.
Why was the hat ever designed for a fucking Velociraptor toy in the first place, though, Santa? Maybe the design department got into the shrooms again?
Too much counterweight.
You know how Santa's workshop is all magical and extraordinary in Christmas movies, and the element of wonder is pervasive throughout any glimpse we get at the work of the elves? Yeah, this movie wants to slap those fuzzy feelings out the window and make this a holiday version of fucking this old elf house. Also, look at this giant fucking jar of rubber cement that's right in front of this elf. This poor guy's gonna be high as a kite within 20 minutes into his shift. No wonder he's smiling so much.
Hey guys, Santa wants to see the new tinsel.
This is super fucking wasteful. Someone's gonna have to sweep all that shit up.
Or you go outside and play some football.
I appreciate the fun environment created by Santa, but we are pretty close to deadline here. Football should have been done during the summer months. Santa is dumb.
Because I'm the head elf. I don't give bad news.
Gatekeeping and delegating. Delekeeping? Movie has time for this. So much time for so much this.
It's Charlie.
Sheen? I thought he straightened out.
That's right, kids. Here's your requisite joke about Charlie Sheen and his hard partying lifestyle that will definitely hit your demographic in 2002.
Tell me what, guys. Come on, come clean now.
Movie literally waits 15 minutes to drop the actual cause of conflict in this fucking movie. I swear to God, this has as much structure as a community theater performance of Gigli.
Matrimony? I gotta get married!
Yes, the story revolves around forcing Santa Claus to find a mate in the world, move her to the North fucking Pole, and force her to live with him and a bunch of elves for the rest of her life. And you thought Bumble was tough to navigate.
It's the Mrs. Claus.
You go to hell! You go to hell and do not pass go! Do not collect $200, just go straight to fucking hell! Go! Go now!
You still have time to find a wife.
Well, how much time do I have, Curtis?
28 days.
Yeah, no, I'm with Tim Santa here. This is impossible. Also, how did they not remember this and tell him about it well before now? These elves are all derelict in their duty.
Don't give up hope, because if you do, then we have to.
I don't remember all the ins and outs of how Buzz Lightyear became Santa in the last movie, but I think he killed the previous guy or something. If that's the case, why aren't the elves plotting something like that out in order to not only save Christmas, but their own lives? Wouldn't it be easier to hire a hitman to knock off Last Man Standing and have that guy take over? Find a hitman that's already married and bada boom, bada bing, problem solved. Peter Boyle's uncredited cameo in this movie is even more mind-boggling than the one Gene Hackman did in Young Frankenstein.
Tooth Fairy. Thank you, Mother Nature.
Yo, why among all these powerful, mostly holiday-based beings does Tooth Fairy get to go first? Man, that guy.
I'd like to again propose a new name for myself.
Oh, because he's a dude that's been called a fairy for the last century or so. Jesus Christ. You have to think that Tim Allen wrote this section of the script himself, don't you?
I have 33,000 offspring, all in private school.
Okay, hilarious rabbits like to joke, but if he has 33,000 offspring, there are great odds that many of them have either already graduated from school or are under 5 years old and therefore too young for school.
The arrows have no effect on us.
Santa's trying to get Cupid to shoot him up with some love juice, and it's understandable that it doesn't work on magical beings, but it would work on regular people, right? I'm not saying that's at all cool, I'm just saying that it should be under consideration given the parameters of this ridiculous f***ing movie.
Kids are 86% happier since you've taken the job.
I'll take statistics that cannot possibly be proven for 200. Whoever is hosting Jeopardy today?
What am I gonna do?
I mean, find a wife within 28 days, right? Like, do you even have a choice? Aren't you wasting everyone's time by merely asking this?
I can deal with business up here.
And he has. I seem to recall the North Pole operated good and goddamn fine between the previous Santa getting whacked and Scott taking over in the last movie. So why can't he take a brief sabbatical to deal with his son and do some speed dating? Santa goes into the duplicator thing that's powered by a new electrical technology, and I have to admit, I did not realize Christopher Nolan stole this plot point to make The Prestige. The special effects budget on this film is honestly lower than a Sharknado sequel.
Maybe if you spent more time with your son, there would be fewer problems.
God damn, I mean, we know V is supposed to be an antagonist, but what fucking principal would ever say this? Especially given the fact that the kid has 3 parental figures showing up to talk about him getting into trouble. Any other principal would be over the moon if just one authority figure showed up, even if it were a second cousin or something.
I was listening to a new tape series on child development just last night.
Seriously, this guy is an asshole. I hope he loses his job as Santa. This guy. Everyone in this room wants to help his son, but he's got to be petty and crack jokes and be the center of attention.
I mean, what kind of school are you running?
A public school.
She goes on to say that she would deck the halls of this school out with boughs of holly and Christmas if only she had the money. But also, it's a fucking public school, so that would be fucked up on many levels.
Would it kill you to give a compliment with your whole heart?
The captions say, would it kill you to give a wholehearted compliment? And since I've noticed about a dozen incorrect, shortened captions on this thing so far, I'm adding 10 sins for lazy captions that came on the disc itself. Look, kid, maybe instead of Santa's memories, you should have implanted a bit more basic human memories, like how to consume food and beverages.
I think Santa feels a little buzz.
There's Nightmare Fuel, there's the Human Centipede franchise, there's watching LeBron James try to act, and then there's this fresh level of hell that is Tim Allen dressed up in the same latex toy gimp suit that they used for Primus in their video for Winona's Big Brown Beaver. Drive-through McDonald's, what every post-principal parent meeting needs. But hey, they said it was third period. And then they had the meeting, and she said the kid was not suspended, but then she just lets the bad kid out for half a day so he can get Mickey D's with his family? He should be in detention! McDonald's sponsors truancy! McDonald's sponsors truancy!
Dad, plenty of women at the mall.
Guiding your dad's
Are you sure you don't have any other clothes I can borrow?
Har har, Neil's fashion sucks. And that's literally the only joke about his character in this movie. You had Judge freaking Reinhold, and you couldn't find anything to do with him besides make fun of his fucking sweater choices.
Scott? Hey.
Tracy!
Yes.
Hi.
Blind dates.
Put up a tree! Sports on TV!
She stands up and sings and annoys everyone, but they all just stare and no one yells, "Shut up, lady!" from the back. She gets angry and leaves because he didn't enjoy her singing, and I realize the point is that she's a terrible date, but usually in movies where we see people go on terrible blind dates, there's something funny that happens. This scene has no funny.
What do you mean it's not straight?
This motherfucker's one mission is to find a mate and marry within a few weeks, and to somehow get his kid on the nice list, and this bullshit is doing neither of those things. These elves are playing football long before Santa gets here, so who's manning their stations? I'm all for union-mandated breaks, but isn't this literally the busiest time of the fucking year for these folks?
Hello, Charlie.
I would either be delighted or repulsed if Charlie responded with a Seinfeldian, "Hello, Newman," but at least I'd feel something, alas.
What's going on here?
I'm checking the naughty nice list.
Let me help you understand exactly how lazy this fucking movie is. He's checking the list. He's literally holding it. And in mere moments during a tire raid, he yells,
Get me the naughty nice list.
There's no excuse for this kind of bullshit.
I want to doll have Santa in the swimming pool.
Is there a part of the Santa legend that specifies that children can recognize him even out of uniform and are allowed to go up to him in the middle of a flirtatious conversation to rattle off their toy demands? I guess what I'm saying is kids. So now the fake Santa is using the duplicator to make copies of people that will help him. And this movie is basically if that last copy of Michael Keaton's character from Multiplicity made a copy of him, then that guy made a copy of the first Santa Claus movie, then that movie made a copy of that movie. Have I mentioned this movie is dumb?
No, it's okay. Come in.
I don't care if he is driving a minivan. You do not invite strange men into your home at night. In fact, you should be more suspicious if they're driving a minivan. Holy shit, turning the car into a sleigh cost a lot of magic points. I'd like to see the pricing chart for the magic acts, please, to better understand this economy. Let me see if I have this right. They hated each other, then he brings her coffee and treats a little girl nicely at the Saturday graffiti cleanup. Then he shows up unexpected at her house, and now they're falling in love on a horse-drawn sleigh and the sparkling lights in the snow. This movie has never dated before. It's a good thing for Santa's boner power that no one in this busy residential area is traveling down this very central street right now, ain't it? She would definitely be able to tell it was only snowing around them. She's not suddenly blind. My Christmas wish is for this movie to eat a lump of coal, but then have a bowel obstruction trying to pass it and die on the operating table. What the f*** are they drinking at this faculty Christmas party? Carrot juice? Vodka cream sauce? Butternut squash soup?
What I think, folks, is that a lot of you have just forgotten what the true spirit of Christmas is all about.
Maybe at the faculty party at a public school, but I'm sure these people are planning to live it up at home, dude. Maybe they want this party to suck so hard they can get back to their families, eh? Speaking of which, I know you're supposed to be chasing tail, but aren't you also supposed to be tending to your burgeoning psychopath of a son? Or just watching this guy talk? None of them are wondering why a parent came to the faculty Christmas party? None of them are gossiping about the principal dating a parent? Calling bullshit on this being a real faculty. If turning the car into the horses and carriage cost him 4 magic points, surely this Secret Santa where everyone gets a personal childhood meaningful present is going to wipe his ass out on the magic meter, and we never got to see how much the sudden snowfall cost him.
I just can't figure it out.
Ooh, I can. It's a magical mystery manipulation to make you like Scott enough to agree to marry him within a few days so that he can remain an omnipotent demigod that you'll be serving for the rest of your years, but you won't need to know that until after the ring is on your finger. Even for a movie where a guy has 28 days to find a wife, this is moving super fast. They are about to kiss, and this dumb motherfucker uses some of his very little remaining magic to create sudden mistletoe. Like a really dumb motherfucker. Really hate this fucking movie.
I hate to blow my own horn.
This idiot has barely understood English the whole movie long, and now he's making puns.
Have a joyous and Merry Christmas.
Did you remember that this movie had an evil dictator Santa? Because I did not remember that this movie had an evil dictator Santa. And it is honestly ruining my buzz right now. I mean, 2021, depending on the recipient and whether or not they give money to Congress people in exchange for nay votes on climate change bills, coal might be considered an awesome gift.
I'm Santa Claus.
What?
Honestly, this should be the most believable thing about this guy. Gia here just looked like she's about to hop into bed with this guy she just met a couple days ago while discussing his delinquent child. But since then, he's created all this holiday-specific magic and loses like 150 pounds within those couple of days. Honestly, what else could be the fucking cause of this whole whirlwind? She asks him to leave because he suddenly says he's Santa Claus, and she had a recently shared childhood memory of being crushed when she learned Santa wasn't real. Shouldn't he have just taken all that magic he had on the watch and flown around to the North Pole and proven he's Santa? And if you say there's maybe a rule against taking the would-be wife to the North Pole, then wouldn't there also be a rule about telling her you are Santa?
My friends get to go around saying, you know, my dad's a plumber, my dad's a pilot.
This kid is seriously bitching about the fact that he can't tell his friends what his dad does. Remember when you were a teenager? Did you know what any of your f***ing friends' parents did?
My dad is the best thing of all, and I can't tell anyone about it.
God f***ing damn it, movie. Subtitles stop after I can't tell anyone and cut off the about it. Because deaf people, they don't need all the words. They just need to get the general idea of things. Hell, why are we even using articles like a, and, or the? The brain can fill those in. Let's talk about saving time and space, people. The deaf, write fewer words.
And you can't be mad at him forever, Charlie. He's your daddy and you love him.
You little girl, you're 6. You don't know shit. Jeez, you'd think that a kid who grew up in the Midwest would know to start shoveling at the top step, since the snow's definitely going to fall onto the lower steps anyway. Why does the red news crawler spell out 2 in the 2 days to Christmas when earlier they used the numeral 4? Okay, there are overhead lamps up here on the right, then 2 lamps on either side of the wine rack, an orange shaded lamp below that on the picture end table, an overhead lamp above the table, and a lamp here on the left next to the couch, and hi, wasting electricity called. It would like its good name back.
Did you get that, honey?
Yeah, sure.
What is up with the front door discipline in this movie? I don't care how safe you think your neighborhood is. You're really gonna send this 6-year-old to answer the doorbell after dark?
You've got to fly back with me to the North Pole to save Christmas!
I can't. I have no magic left. I'm out of magic. Look.
If the erstwhile Santa doesn't think about how Curtis got all the way here and suggests using that method, I'm starting to doubt his ability to properly Santa. Not only did that little girl keep feeding Comet junk food after Scott told her it was bad for him, she littered all those wrappers like a slob. Honestly, is she Carrie? Rosemary's slightly more grown-up baby? She's evil. Of all the one last fly in the ointment so the hero can't do the thing shit I've seen, this is the dumbest. The easy ride back to the North Pole is derailed by a 6-year-old girl giving a wild animal so much candy it gains 400 pounds in a couple weeks. If I ever meet this screenplay, I'm going to shoot it with an arrow.
Can you move anything?
I actually think the reindeer puppetry work is pretty well done in this movie, but Jesus, do we need this much time with Comet this late in the movie? So Santa Claus, who had a meeting with the Tooth Fairy earlier in the movie, doesn't have a phone number or email for TF, and the only way he can call him is by literally having a tooth forcibly removed. The actual 3! I can't fault this movie for being dumber than Home Alone, but it's also dumber than Home Alone 2 Lost in New York, and 3, which strangely has no subtitle, and 4, Taking Back the House, and that one called The Holiday Heist that came out in 2012 that no one saw.
I lost another tooth. Should I put it under my pillow?
F***ing eat a movie. Coincidental timing is the underlying theme of this entire f***ing movie. I hate you and I hate your ass face. No one is awake to see this magical happening down in the middle of the road, because the humans in this movie are as clueless as the muggles in every Harry Potter film.
Look into this and try to remember what it was like when you were little.
The son is here to convince the principal he hates to give his Santa father another chance, and everyone's just switching allegiances willy-nilly without reason, and it's f***ing stupid.
There's only one Santa.
Oh no, I guess all is lost and Christmas is in more danger than it's ever been, and coal will be given to all the...
My elfin pride blinded me to all reason.
Don't beat yourself up, kid. They blinded you with science! This tied bow is so easily escapable that I'm legitimately offended. Kid, slide the f*** out. Santa, slide out after the kid.
Hurt the woman I love.
Dude, you knew her for like a week tops. When did love even crop into the picture? I know you're supposed to get married and all that shit, but ain't no way you actually fell in love with Principal Newman that fast. Everyone flies in with the Tooth Fairy and his tiny wings, but no one thought to call for extra help from Cupid, who has much bigger wings. I guess Scott convinced all the elves that he's the real Santa, despite not looking anything like him, and in record time, and mobilized a resistance plan. Man, she sure did accept this situation quickly and easily, didn't she? He made toy soldiers huge. How did he teach them to obey his commands and stand in rows at attention and shit? If it's taking them this long to get out of the North Pole, how the hell is Santa feasibly able to deliver gifts around the world by morning?
You are a sad, strange little man.
You think a Toy Story quote is gonna save your movie? Toy murder, and it's played for laughs. Where the hell did this little asshole even come from? And why are we witnessing yet another use of that f***ing repelling equipment? Is he in training to be f***ing Graffiti Batman? Silly string makes this very large toy soldier fall over backwards, despite physics. As the sled, being controlled by both the good guy and the bad guy, crashes into a large toy soldier, I'm left wondering, when can I go home, yo? This is boring.
I cannot continue being Santa unless I find a Mrs. Claus.
As f***ed as it all is, she's going to say yes here, and I have nightmares about it to this day.
You say this is happening all so fast, but you've known me your whole life.
Which makes it roughly 9 billion times creepier now.
By the powers vested in me.
You have power vested in you, and instead of ending this movie, you chose to validate this marriage? Wait, what? What did Charlie's tooth have to do with Scott getting married? God, the ending of this movie is like huffing an entire jar of expired rubber cement.
But do we still get toys?
If you ever get to bed and go to sleep like the other kids.
Hey, Scroathead, she was asleep. Charlie woke her up specifically to meet your ass, so just hand her the loot and save your faux scolding for one of the dickier kids down the road. I don't feel like Charlie really learned any lessons about all the graffiti he did, but whatever. The music is swelling, he and the girls seem happy. Let's get the f*** out of here.
You're being so much like your father.
Do not compare me to my father.
I didn't compare you to him. I said you were acting like him.